talk a little bit.
Sure.
Okay, Nine, I've already told you, is about the travails of an Italian movie director, Guido Contini, who at the moment can't come up with an idea for his movie. He's already had 3 flops and he's in big difficulty. He's got a French movie producer, Liliane Lafleur, who's coming over from Paris with a film crew to start the movie in 3 days. He doesn't know what he's going to do. He's there with his wife, Louisa, his mistress, Carla, that the wife doesn't know about. And he's madly in love with the actress, Claudia, whom he needs to do his movie. And we'll meet him outside the doors of the spa where he's trying to hide, and he's discovered by the reporters who are asking him all sorts of questions. In the middle of being questioned by the reporters, these 2 women, his mistress and the gorgeous actress, call to him. And he finally gets rid of them all and sings a song. We'll start with when the reporters find him. Look, it's Guido Contini. Not since Charlie Chaplin has there ever been a film director like this. Guido Contini. Everything he does gets world attention, whether it's a hit or a miss. Guido Contini. Tell us about your new picture, Guido. What's it about? One at a time, please. The picture is going to be wonderful. We hear you're being sued by your producer. Not true. Whoever thought that my next project is in trouble? He writes the script. He writes the score. He's the director. And even more, he's a consummate actor. And they go on about, we hear that you can't get any financing anymore. And who is this woman you're traveling with? Does your wife know you're traveling with this woman? And he says, this is my wife. And the mistress stands up and sings, Guido. Carla, what are you doing here? I had to come, my love. Luigi has agreed to grant me a divorce. Now I'm free to marry you. Guido. That's the actress. He says, Claudia, I need you for my new picture, desperately. And somebody says, there's a telephone call for you, Signor Contini. He says, hello. It's his producer. She says, what are you doing in Venice? He says, I'm scouting locations. She says, good. I'll be there with a film crew tomorrow. And the reporters sing, no task too big, no task too small. He sketches costumes, and that's not all. He writes the subtitles. Signor Contini, telephone line 7. Okay, please, no more questions. I'll have a press conference tomorrow, and the reporters disappear. Leaving him alone on stage. I would like to be here. I would like to be there. I would like to be everywhere at once. I know that's a contradiction in terms, and it's a problem, especially when my body's clearing 40 as my mind is nearing 10. I can hardly stay up, and I can't get to sleep, and I don't want to wake tomorrow morning at the bottom of some heap. But why take it so seriously? After all, there's nothing at stake here, only me. I want to be young, and I want to be old. I would like to be wise before my time, and yet be foolish and brash and bold. I would like the universe to get down on his knees and say, Guido, whatever you please, it's okay, even if it's impossible, we'll arrange it. That's all that I want. I am lusting for more. Should I settle for less? I ask you, what's a good thing for, if not for taking it to excess? One limitation I dearly regret, there's only one of me I've ever met. I would like to have another me to travel along with myself. I would even like to be able to sing a duet with myself. I would like to be here, sing along with myself in a song, to be there, walking down a lane now, everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. That's a contradiction in terms. I want to be here with a counter, your melody in my ear. Time of the morning to you, Guido, 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 me. I want to be Proust, or the Marquis de Sade. I would like to be Christ, immediately we see the head chambermaid at the spa, Mama Maddalena, waking everybody up, all the chambermaids, to get ready for the arrival of these droves of German tourists who are about to arrive at the spa. Now, the Italians make fun of German opera. They sing 3 counter melodies. I'll sing them all at once. Then the Germans arrive. The Germans sing a little opera. Then the Italians and the Germans interact. I'll play the Italians and I'll sing the Germans. But the Germans aren't there yet. We start only with the Italians and Mama. Renata taking the sheets and the pillowcases from the east wing and bring them to the west wing. And then Juliette take the blankets from the north wing and bring them to the south wing. And Alfred taking the towels from the mud bath and bring them to the steam bath. And be careful, don't drop them in the mud. And for Christ's sakes, hurry up, they'll be here any minute. Clear the decks, be alert. We'll clear the decks, we'll be alert. Fix your tie, fix your skirt. We'll fix our tie and skirt. Be prepared to change a foreign coin. Deutschmarks, francs, krone, pfennigs, shillings. You all know what to do. We all know what to do. They're on their way, you know who. They're on their way, we know who. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The Germans at the spa. The Germans at the spa. They'll soon be arriving here to spend a lost weekend in Shangri-La. The Germans at the spa. Descend from German mounts. They come to take the waters with the daughters of Italian counts. Oh, not to have the Germans at the spa. Carefully avoiding any slight faux pas. The Germans at the spa. The Germans at the spa. The Germans. Our list must be perfect. The Germans are coming. The Germans are coming. Roll out the Wiener Schnitz. Roll out the Wiener Schnitz. They'll soon be arriving. The spa will be thriving. They'll come. They'll sit. They'll schwitz. They'll come. They'll sit. They'll schwitz. Be sure. There's lots of German music playing. They do the opera. Was du tust, wie meine Brust, meine Geliebte, meine Herz, alle Geliebte und so weiter. Go mow the lawns, I'll mow the lawns. Go cool the beer, I'll cool the beer. Go shell the prawns, I'll shell the prawns. I think they hear the Germans at the spa. The Germans at the spa. We just got in a minute ago because Germany is filled with snow. Together now, hurrah! For the Germans at the spa. Of anything they could have chosen, why do they wear lederhosen? How would love to spielen at a favorite spa? Carefully avoiding all the French bourgeois. The Germans at the spa. The Germans at the spa. The Germans, alles must be German. The Germans are laughing. Wir all photographing. We click the Hasselblad. We click the Hasselblad. And yes, we are unpacking. If nothing is lacking, we take a promenade. We take a promenade on what's that lovely music I hear playing. And then the Germans say, what was the toast? In meine Brust, meine Geliebte, meine Herz, alle Geliebte und so weiter. One German. Just once a year I can romance beneath the dance of an Italian apricot moon. But once a year I can be more than just another tycoon. Too soon this all shall pass. The Germans at the spa are eating halava and closing the deal for oil with a noted Middle Eastern shavi. Exercise by day, at night romantic play. I'm dancing with his own and I hold her, everything's okay. How love to see the Germans at the spa. How love to be the Germans at the spa. The Germans at the spa. The Germans at the spa. The Germans. Italy is heaven. Just once a year we have a chance to find romance beneath the dance of an Italian lover's moon. Once a year we can be absolutely free as if we're floating like a helium balloon. Be sure there's lots of it, good German. That music keep it playing, keep that German music. How it must have just we love it when they rush to have a lead the Germans at once a year they have a chance to find romance. Swap, you're at the spa. The boy is
Very good. Are these tempos, do you think?
Let me see. Yeah, that's the tempo for the Germans at the spot. Yeah, they dance it beautifully. It's filled with movement. Guido has a meeting with his French producer who's arrived. She's played by
a wonderful woman, Lillian Montevecchi, who was in our cast, who was an ex-star of the Folie Bergère. She's very French and very beautiful, wonderfully well preserved. She has great legs. And she put some pressure on him. I want to see the script, and he beats a hasty retreat and goes back to his wife and says, what am I going to do? And as he's standing there talking to his wife, he gets a phone call from his mistress, who told him before, I'm staying at the Albergo Caldo, numero 555. And all of a sudden, as he's standing there talking to his wife, he stands up. It's a telephone call. He says, pronto, and the lady says, Signor Contini, telephone. And it's Carla who sings, Guido, Guido. I was lazing around my bedroom and an idea occurred to me I thought you might be wondering about. Guido, who's not wearing any clothes. I'm not my darling, who's afraid to kiss your toes. I'm not your mama dear, who's blowing into your ear, so you'll get it loud and clear. I need you to squeeze me here and here and here. His wife says, trouble, Guido? He says, no, not really. It's a very important call from the Vatican. Go ahead, Monsignor. Coochie, 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 coo. I've got a plan for what I'm gonna do to you. So hot, you're gonna steam and scream and vibrate like a string I'm plucking. Kiss your fevered little brow, pinch your cheeks till you say ow, and I can hardly wait to show you how. We won't care if you come to me tired and overworked. I won't bambino, who knows a therapy to beat what you can get from me. I don't, but this will have to be enough for now. Guido, ciao. I love you, Guido. And there's no way for me to describe how.
Okay.
So there he is with his wife. Now he's under even more pressure. Not only does he have to do this movie, but this lady is waiting for him, and she wants, Carla is waiting for him in her hotel room, numero 555. And he says, "What?"
Have we crossed over any scenes? Are we
No,
still,
we haven't.
We're still in scene.
We're right here. Well,
scene
no,
one?
this is now sort of the third scene.
Oh, okay, good.
And-
Maybe you could just delineate them as
Yeah,
you go, if
the
you don't mind.
first scene is the big opening. The second scene, when he meets his French producer and she
Okay.
arrives with the phone crew. The third scene is now him with
Okay.
his wife. The mistress has just called. He hangs up the phone and he says, "What am I going to do? I got to build the sets by Friday. I don't have an idea for the movie." She says, "Relax. I packed a picnic lunch. Let's take the day off and float around in a gondola all day." And he says, "There's nobody like you." And he starts to sing a love song to his wife. Suddenly he thinks of the mistress by the second verse. He sings the second verse of the love song to the mistress and the third verse of the love song to the actress that he wants. So she says, "I packed a picnic lunch, everything you love, prosciutto, olives, some cool white wine." He says, "Oh, Louisa, there's no one like you. Being just me is so easy to be when I'm only with you. Open inside and with nothing
Seems long ago I was destined to know, and the moment I saw you, I knew I could be totally happy with no one but you. And the mistress calls out, Guido, I'm waiting for you. Carla. Passionate night after passionate night, I give over to you. Utterly changed, I'm at each prearranged rendezvous. Lured by the fire of your endless desire, I still wonder the way that it grew. Never elusive, it comes from exclusively you. Finding a special person we can love is so rare. How in the world can there be two Guido? Claudia, where are you, Claudia? I need you for my film. Send me a love that will mend me with love. I am desperate for you. Giving you chase like some goddess of grace, I pursue. Blinded by need, I will follow your lead. Monkey see, monkey say, monkey do. Taken for granted, completely enchanted by you. Small wonder it seems that my life's made of dreams and of wishes that never come true. I wouldn't be lonely if I could be only with you. And you. And you.
I like the way you go into those two bars of Neapolitan
Yeah.
music there in the main strain. That's very sneaky.
So that's his problem. He wouldn't be lonely if he could be only with you and you and you, which is an understandable male problem. And the producer calls him into another meeting, and this time the producer brings along a critic. The critic is working for the producer. She's hired this woman, Stephanie Necropolis, who writes for the Cahiers de Cinema under the name of Robespierre. She hates all of his movies. She's there working on the project to give it some objectivity. And she says, okay, tell me about the script. And you also got to know that the producer, Lillian Lafleur, once owned the Folies Bergère. So the critic says, okay, tell me a little bit about the script. And he says, all right, he's got to come up with something on the spot. So he says, okay, well, let me see. At first, nothing. And then music. And he's trying to figure out some idea for this movie. He doesn't have the first idea. The action begins in a graveyard. A man has been buried alive. He's scratching and clawing. Poor fellow, he's caught in a terrible crunch. He's fighting his way to the surface. It's likely he'll never survive. He hardly can breathe and he's desperate to keep an appointment for lunch. For lunch? That's absurd. No, it's not. It's humorous. I find it to be very depressing. Me too. In fact, we begin with a wedding, a prologue to what I described. We're happy and gay and in love, and it's spring and the trees are all green. A trio of capuchin monkeys insinuates into the frame. They chatter a bit and then one disappears, but the others remain. Have I mentioned the train? Train? Of course, there are trains in all Contini films. It's my signature. With a bowl clean, master stroke, a bowl clean, master stroke. Suddenly, we see fire and smoke. A bowl clean, master stroke, a bowl clean, master stroke. Suddenly, there's a train. that he invents. She stops him and says, Contini, you come back here when we spoke in Paris. You told me you were going to do a musical. I did? Yes, you did. I must have been joking. I don't care whether you were joking or not. I want the singing, I want the dancing, I want the musical. Oh, mon Dieu. Le cinéma today is in a crisis. Directors are so existentialist. The movies are not worth their entrance prices. If no one sings a love song when they're kissed. I want a musical, Contini. Love cannot be love without her singing. A string, a clarinet, a saxophone. Take a lesson from this old Parisian, and the finest entertainment she has known. Folie bergère. Oh, what a showing of color, costume, and dancing. Not a moment in life could be more entrancing than an evening you spend au Folie bergère. Folie bergère. Not a soul in the world could be in despair when he's glancing at the fabulous stage of Folie bergère. Think of the footlights bright and gleaming, le striptease, le can-can we all adore. Life is too short without dreaming, and dreams are what le cinéma is for. Folie bergère. La musique et la danse ne sont la lumière. Des petites jolies scènes, des belles bouquetières. Sur la belle passerelle des folies bergères. Pas de mystère. Le spectacle est tout à fait découvert. Et pas trop cher. Viens nous joindre ce soir au fond des bergères. And the critic sings, the trouble with Contini, he's the king of mediocrity. He's a second-rate director who believes that he is Socrates. He never makes a movie or a picture or a fling. He makes a film. Get it? A film. A typical Italian with his autobiography, a mixture of Catholicism, pasta and pornography, a superficial womanizing, mono-really charming Latin fraud. Grazie, prego. And what are his pictures about? Just beauty, truth, death, youth, life, love, anguish, angst. Thanks to him, we have boredom at the movies. Grazie, prego, darlings, folie bergère. Continue to listen to those two go together. And there's a big end. Folie bergère, the answer to what you are after. The music, the life, and the laughter. Each night at the Folie bergère. Folie bergère. To your modern ideas, I simply compare one derrière on the fabulous stage des Folies bergères. Of course, this is a much bigger production number than I did. Okay, Guido was now under tremendous pressure. His marriage is in danger. The mistress keeps on pressuring him to come see her. He still doesn't have an idea for his movie. And now, on top of everything else, the French producer wants it to be some kind of crazy musical. And he's beginning to fall apart, and he goes to have an interview with the Cardinal, who happens to be staying at the spa. The Cardinal is down there in the steam bath of the spa. And he says to the Cardinal, do you ever get afraid? I'm beginning to get afraid. And the Cardinal says, sure, all the time. He says, what should I do? And the Cardinal says, are you a good Catholic? And he says, yeah, I try to be. The Cardinal says, try harder. And he says, Father, I don't know. I'm seeing things. I think it's the work of the devil. And the Cardinal says, my son, if you think that you may be seeing the work of the devil, then you must believe in the existence of a world in which at any moment you may see an angel And as he says that, Guido hears the voice of his mother calling to him from the past. His mother and about his grandmother and 8 aunts. And they're taking the little 9-year-old boy on his 9th birthday, 9-year-old Guido, out of his bath and wrapping him in a blanket and putting him to bed. And this is that moment when he hears time to come out of your bed, wrap you up in a mother's love, take a towel and dry your little head. Time to come out in the air, sleepy pup in your mother's arms, plant a kiss on your lips and put you to bed. Night, Guido. Happy birthday to you. Night, Guido. So much to do. Time to start out on your own. Open up to a brand new world. Time to leave early dreams and live them instead. Nine, Guido. 9 months of the year to make you appear. 9 and a family of 9. 9th grandchild, 9th son, 9th but number 1. Time to come out of your egg, crack it open and show your face. Don't conceal what you feel, let it shine. That you'd like to be always. Night. And then go to bed. Finished this little lullaby to the little boy, and suddenly we see that Guido's wife is at the spa, and she's being surrounded by reporters, and they're asking her embarrassing questions about her husband. They're saying, Mrs. Contini, what about the rumor that your husband is having an affair with the noted actress Claudia Nichtern? She says, that's absolutely not true. Yeah, but what about his rumored infidelity with Carla Albanese? Well, there's no truth in that at all. But there were pictures published in Il Giorno. Listen, we had a lawsuit about those pictures, and they turned out to be composites, and we won that lawsuit. Yeah, but Mrs. Contini, please, when will you understand? My husband makes movies to make them. He lives a kind of dream in which his actions aren't always what they seem. He may be on to some unique romantic theme. Some men catch fish, some men tie flies, some earn their living baking bread. My husband, he goes a little crazy, making movies instead. My husband spins fantasies, he lives them, then gives them
sitting on the film on ancient Rome. He made the slave girls take the gladiators home. Some men buy stocks, some fry in walks, some leap where others fear to tread. My husband, as author and director, makes up stories in his head. Guido Contini, Louisa Contini, #1 genius and #1 fan. Guido Contini, Louisa Contini, daughter of well-to-do Florentine clan. Long ago, 20 years ago, once the names were Guido Contini, Louisa del Forno, actress with dreams and a life of her own, passionate, wild, and in love in Livorno, singing with Guido all night on the phone. Long ago, someone else ago, how he needs me so, and he'll be the last to know it. My husband makes movies to make them, he makes himself obsessed. He works for weeks on end without a bit of rest. No other way can he achieve his level best. Some men read books, some shine their shoes, some retire early when they've seen the evening news. My husband only rarely comes to bed. My husband makes movies instead. My husband makes movies. Thank you very much, Mrs. Contini.
Lovely.
She's hers. And we go immediately from that moment to a scene with Guido in bed with his mistress. And she keeps on trying to put on clothes that will appeal to him. And no matter what she puts on, it's not right. And it's obvious he's looking for something. No, this is too thin. No, this is too fat. No, this is not right. And we're redoing that scene. Here, hold this tambourine. He's obviously got something in mind. And finally she says, what's on your mind? And as she says, what's on your mind, we go to another flashback to 4 little 9-year-old boys calling to the little Guido, come on, Guido, we're going to the beach. We're going to go see Saragina dance for us. And this sexy old whore on the beach, what you may remember from the movie Dances, the little boys. So she says, Guido, what's on your mind? And suddenly the boys come running out. Come on, Guido, we're going to the beach. We're going to go see Saragina dance for us. And they run to the beach and they call out, Saragina, Saragina, dance for us. Tell us about love. And she comes out of her hut. So, you little Italian devils, you want Saragina to tell you about love? Very good, I will tell you. When you love, do not love like the French, and do not love like the English, and never like the Germans. No, little boys, if you want to make a woman happy, be Italian. Be Italian. Take a chance and try to steal a fighting kiss. Be Italian, you rascallion. When you hold me, don't just hold me, but hold this. And she grabs her enormous bosoms, making the boys laugh a lot. when I heard from the priest at St. Sebastian that my son was caught with this woman, and it was the biggest shame in the family. And obviously the little boy and the other little boys were punished for this. And Guido comes out, Raoul comes out, and sings a memory of what it was like to be at this parochial school, St. Sebastian's. And as he remembers the music, the boys become a boys' choir and sing Kyrie eleison, and everybody sings it. And I think the song will be self-explanatory. I remember St. Sebastian with a memory most unkind. I can hear the bells I heard when I went there, inside the church, inside my mind. The bells of St. Sebastian only ring once in your ears. But if you're very young, when you hear them, their sound can last 100 years. But the music of the ringing was the music of our singing. When we were singing Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison. Each day at Lauds, each night at Vespers, from every tower, the hour would be told. For those of us at St. Sebastian, no longer young and not yet old. We know why did you go to that woman? To see what she was like. Each day at St. Sebastian, in the classroom we would hear that devils lurked behind every corner. If you tried to look, they would disappear. The nuns at St. Sebastian tried to teach the facts of life, explaining there are two kinds of women. One was a whore, one was a wife. But the music of the ringing was a different world that opened through our singing. As we were singing Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison. They rang at dawn, they rang at midnight, in tones well-rounded, they sounded down the nave. For all the souls of little boys at St. Sebastian, too young to say. Kyrie eleison, eleison, Christ eleison, eleison. We know you have made us so ashamed. For lunch at St. Sebastian, cottage cheese and buttered bread. A prayer we never learned, sung in Latin. Then a midday nap in a makeshift bed. Then the music of the ringing. Then the music of our singing. And we were singing Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison. We should have known, they should have warned us. At St. Sebastian, they never spare the rod. But in the music of the bells at St. Sebastian, we looked for God. Little boy sings Kyrie eleison. He runs out of church, around to the beach, to where Saragina the whore is. And they wave to each other.
That's powerful.
They disappear from the beach beach, and there is Guido now on the beach with Claudia. She has finally come to Venice to be in his movie. And they have had an earlier love affair, from which she's never quite recovered. And she doesn't want to be the woman in the white dress who goes to heal everybody anymore. She's grown up, she's an actress now, and he says, please, I need you. And she says, I don't want to know about it. The ocean waves are lapping back and forth. And she says, no, I want to go back to the car, forget it. And he says, Claudia, I love you. And she starts laughing. He says, you're laughing? She says, I'm not laughing. He says, yes, I see you're laughing. Your back is shaking up and down. I'm standing here. My life is falling apart. My career is in ruins. I tell you I love you. And you're laughing. A man like you, one woman's not enough for your wheel. One's plenty if she's you, Claudia. Not true. You need two, Guido. My charming Casanova. Me. Maybe even three, Guido. Go home, Guido. There's no special woman dancing on the beach tonight. He's already thinking of what she just said and sings. Me, Casanova. In the meantime, she's on the other side of the beach, thinking of him. In a very unusual way, one time I needed you. In a very unusual way, you were my friend. Maybe it lasted a day. Maybe it lasted an hour. But somehow it will never end. In a very unusual way, I think I'm in love with you. In a very unusual way, I want to cry. Something inside me goes weak. Something inside me surrenders. And you're the reason why. You're the reason why. You don't know what you do to me. You don't have a clue. You can't tell what it's like to be me looking at you. It scares me so that I can hardly speak. In a very unusual way, I owe what I am to you. Special to me in my life since the first day that I met you. How could I ever forget you once you had touched my soul? In a very unusual way, you've He comes out, he's telling us he's got his idea. Contini submits that the flops are not hits because no one is willing to film a romantic spectacular. That'll use the vernacular. And he says
Interesting subjects a myriad. In a period. Continue consents to the past, makes the present look dull and half-assed. Let other directors investigate sectors of image and meaning what's commonly thought of as current. As they aren't and warrant. Continue suggests that today's not the best, but yesterday's better, and longer it goes to better, etc., etc. And now I've found the right location that perfectly suits this new creation. A picture so broad and serpentining that it will contain a world of meaning. And it's already here in front of my nose. This is the answer to what I propose. Venice by day, Venice by night. Right where I am is terrifically right. How low? I want to start with a close-up of my face. Keep me in the center of the frame. I want a crane shot, bring it up and out. Get the whole regatta in. The dancers are coming in. They start the song. And this is the Grand Canal. Its resemblance to life is not obscure. It is filled with the milk of human kindness. In spite of the fact, it's really a sewer. But don't let that spoil your morale. It's a Grand Canal. This is a gondolier. Seeking love is the center of his life. But he never will go as far as wedlock. That would really annoy his present wife. He strums his plaintive pastoral on the Grand Canal. Look at the people in the square, look at the steeple in the air. Can you deny that it's a stunning view? Faces are brimming with delight, children are swimming late at night. Why don't you try that? It is fine. And who can it harm to feel its charm? Split chorus. Row me down the Grand Canal. Row me with my gal together with I love it, I love it, I love it, I do on the Grand Canal. On the Grand Canal. And this is a courtesan. It's a shame people think that she's a leech. True, she once in a while destroys a marriage. But other than that, she's really a peach. Sweet as the sweetest madrigal on the Grand Canal. And okay, out of the water, ladies. Let's get ready for the tarantella. And he teaches the tarantella to the German ladies. And they do it. I won't do the tarantella, but it's obvious. The same dance that the little boy learned from the woman on the beach. And finally, as the mistress is ripping up the paper, it's he's gotta be back in the movie with Broadway Canal. Its resemblance to life is not obscure. It is filled with the milk of human kindness. In spite of the fact, it's really a sewer. But don't let that spoil your morale. It's a Grand Canal. The little boys come out and do a little boys dance in which they're walking to the Grand Canal with fishing poles. And they're gonna go fishing. And they go fishing on the canal. And as they're fishing, all the women come out 2 by 2 and begin to sing the first song in the Casanova movie that leads to the arrival of Casanova. Every girl in Venice is in love with Casanova. Every girl has kissed him once or twice. Every girl in Venice is in love with Casanova as long as Casanova pays her price. Every girl in Venice is expecting Casanova.
curtain appears, and the curtain is parted with curtain party music. Revealing Guido up to his neck in women. I, Casanova, have come to Venice with my dear wife Beatrice, mi amore. Here to take a rest, enjoy the waters and the food, and be with her, the apple of my cuore. The wife appears, and suddenly a very funny lady in our cast, with a red wig like Guido's mistress, comes out and says, Casanova, Maria, what are you doing here? I'm staying at the Hosteleria Caldissima numero 2020. Drop by tonight at 10 o'clock. I'll give you plenty. I can't believe how my good fortune still does serve me. So much romance at hand, I really don't deserve me. Amor, I love them all, every beauty, short or tall. There's a duty to make love to each and all. Amor, it's my profound obligation to go round every nation and make love to one and all. Yes, I have lived and breathed and slept. Amor, I freely give and do accept. Amor big, amor small, amor, all my life has been amor. I've always known what I'm looking for. Amor! But alas, I am distressed by all this beauty fine. If I must choose but one concubine. The curtain closes, because we have to make a costume change. And the critic comes out. Cavattini can't seriously believe we will accept this fatuous rendering of a 17th century opera as an excuse for a movie. No way, no way, no way. His mother comes out. If only Guido had become a priest or a lawyer. But no, he makes these films I can't explain to my friends. The producer comes out. I love the costumes and the way they dance the tarantella. The critic says, he stole it from the most happy fella. Guido comes out, talks to the audience, says, now extras. When we get to this part in the Grand Canal where we sing Romy, Romy with my gal, I want you all to raise your hands and swing them back and forth. That's very good. Whoever doesn't raise your hand, you don't get lunch. Thank you. Okay, we'll take it, Paolo, from Alas. But alas, I am distressed by all this beauty fine. If I must choose but one concubine. Motore azione. And he runs back into the film. It is now the same exact setup visually as it was when he sang Only With You to his wife, except now the actress playing his wife says, Casanova, relax, you will exhaust yourself and soon become too stanco. Look, I have prepared a picnic lunch, prosciutto, olives, and of course your favorite vino bianco. He sings Beatrice, Beatrice. His wife is watching. Only you will I ever see, forever will you be my true love. I'll forswear all others for thee, no, never will I have a new love, no new love, no new love, and you will be my true love. A trio sings, Casanova takes a vow, telling Beatrice now, there will never be another woman in his life but her, now until forevermore. Our stage lady says, Casanova, I'm waiting for you, and he sings to her, only you can stir in my breast the fire of an endless passion. Late tonight I'll be in your bed, expect me in the usual fashion. Our fashion, our fashion, a fire of an endless passion. The trio sings, Casanova breaks a vow. Oh, where is Beatrice now? There was not to be another one. his wife stands up. He calls for his mistress, and he calls for the actress Claudia. And a voice says, she's checked out. And he calls for his wife Louisa, and a voice says, she's checked out. And he calls for mistress Claudia, Carla. And the voice says, she's at the station. And he runs to the station and says, Carla, please. There's been a terrible mistake. Carla says, I agree. He says, no, you don't understand. What's between us is a wonderful love. Why complicate that love? Let's just keep it simple. She says, sure, Guido. Simple. Simple these affairs that touch the heart. Simple are the ways of love. Simple as the touch of another's hand. Simple enough for anyone to understand. But you, Carlissima, simple are the ways we come apart. Simple as a baby's new. Simple as a tree, and as simple as a cloud. It's as simple as the simplest things have always been. Simple as the sun and the moon and the stars in the sky. Simple are the ways we say goodbye. Ciao. And he calls for his wife, Louisa. She's packing. And sings, beyond your mind. scraping knees, tying shoes, starting school, paying dues, finding there's no way we can spend a lifetime playing ball. Part of getting tall. Learning more, knowing less. Simple words, tenderness. Part of getting tall. We know you're not crazy, you're alright. Everyone wants everyone inside. But knowing you have no one, if you try to have them all, is part of tying shoes, part of starting school, part of scraping knees if we should fall, part of getting tall. Oh boy picks up Raoul by his hand, gives him a push on the stage, and he comes back to life and runs away. Everybody comes in again, and he looks at the place where he expected to see his wife, and she's not there, and he sings, Guido Contini, Louisa Delfort, actress with dreams and a life of her own, passionate, wild, and in love in Livorno, singing together all night on the phone. And from the back of the theater, Louisa sings, Love Lagoon, and comes back, someone else. And he takes her by the hand and turns to the little boy and sings, Guido, caro mio, time to go off on my own. You belong in your mother's arms. Each of us in our place will be fine. I'll be 40 and you'll be, I can't sing this. You'll be 40 and I'll be 9.
Very good.